look at how we can really put together something and
Yes.
make it work.
Let me ask you, do you have to be invited into a situation, or are you trained to intervene without invitation?
We were trained to intervene without
Without
being invited.
invitation.
But at the
Okay.
same time, you most of the situation, I think you most time be invited because person you couldn't just get up and go intervene without person
Being willing.
want to listen to you. You
Yes.
can't see person fighting out there, you pass it in and you're trying now to bring it together. But if we begin putting this as something within the community, where when the police have a domestic dispute come to them, and suppose they would call this session to these set of persons together
Yes.
and bring them to these sessions,
Yes.
and so we begin working with that. And once you formulate it, then the court would possibly begin using it just like how they use the probation officers and so forth.
Okay, I'm very interested. I think that program holds a lot of promise for building better relations in community.
building trust and so on.
I congratulate you for
And I
being,
laud you for it. We laud you.
involved and for calling us to share with us, what your experience has been. The very best of luck in what you're doing, and feel free to stay in touch with us.
Yeah, man, and keep
I
us
would love-
informed on what is happening
Yeah,
and what we
to-
can do to facilitate what you're doing. You never
I
know.
will always, yeah, man, I will come on board with you whenever anything I'm doing begins bearing fruit.
Yes.
I'll let you know and call you to take a look at what is happening and be a part of it.
No problem.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you for trusting us with that. Yeah.
Do we have another call, engineer? Okay, I didn't want us to leave. We ended our conversation with Samuel rather, I would say abruptly. He was going on. He was making several points, which I think you continue to be interested in. He referred you to Hebrew. Well, he referred me to Hebrews, you to Revelation, and wanted you to read Revelation
13.
9 and 10. Whoever has ears, let them hear. If anyone is to go into captivity they will go. If anyone is to be killed with the sword they will be killed. And this is a repeat, actually, of words spoken in by one of the older prophets when judgment was passed on the Israelites, and they themselves were to be published. Who didn't die by the sword? I don't remember it precisely, but it is not the first time that we see words of this nature occurring
But
in
interestingly,
the
all
Bible,
of it.
because the judgment once passed, that is the judgment. And we've had earlier conversations about when does mercy come into play, and we recognize that the judgment of God always includes an element of mercy.
Always, from beginning to end.
Yeah. And even when the children of Israel were going into captivity, were going to Babylon, the prophet Jeremiah was instructed to send them a letter, which today we still use to give ourselves hope. Because even though you are going into captivity, there is still a future that is promised to you. I did like what he said, though, in his own. He wants blood and he wants to go home.
Yeah. And
Can't deny a man his desire for vengeance.
Yeah.
And really, of a fact, the only thing that maybe the only difference between us, if there is a difference, is that I understand that vengeance belongs to God. I still desire it. I just want him to be the one to
Goes
exact
back to the
it for
point
me.
you made earlier about the muscle.
Why we don't celebrate when our enemies fall.
It's a change of heart
Yeah.
in terms of understanding.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hi, it's me again, Miss Minett. Has that gentleman called is it?
No, he hasn't called us yet, but I think we have his number. We have his number. The scholar who wants the book.
Clinton Black.
Yes, we do have his number, don't we?
Yes.
Mr. Engineer, we have the number for the
Gentleman who called.
yes, I believe he's a regular listener, so I do hope he will call, and I'm sure maybe the only challenge is him getting through.
Can always call on
Yeah,
the
but with that link is definitely going to be made.
Permit me, if you will, Miss Minett.
Go ahead.
But I'm going to speak both practically and spiritually. Not that spirituality is not practical, but
The
No, the world
practicals
won't
comes
give us
out of
any
the spiritual.
reparations.
They will not give us any
And-
reparations. Okay.
And they will not, unlike what they did to the Jewish people after World War II, and they will not repatriate us. And I will emphasize again over and over and over, we are not
I agree.
Africans.
I
African is a
agree with you.
constitution of more than 50 countries. Miss Minett. And
Continent
if
of
anyone
Africa.
was to come from anywhere part of Africa and you ask them, they will tell you exactly where. Nigeria, Ghana,
Yes, well,
etc.
when I
But
went to
we want
Nigeria, they
make-
told me that I am Yoruba. So yes, we
Again.
understand that. When I went to Nigeria, I was immediately identified as a member of the Yoruba tribe.
Exactly.
So we understand that.
These things, we need to stop claim Africa. Understand me?
Let me ask you a
And
question.
Pastor.
What is the mother? Where's the mother? Where's the mother of civilization?
It's in continental Africa.
Okay.
Let me just be practical.
It is so the
But
practical thing is
technically,
no. There's no technically, because if you are being technical, you are being practical.
look here.
You've brought out,
technically,
you've
land
brought
that
out
we
the
are from-
scientist in Pastor now.
So we are agreed that Africa is considered where civilization was
the cradle
birthed.
of civilization. Okay.
Was birthed, yeah.
The-
So we agreed on
Eden.
that. We agreed on that.
Eden, okay, but the garden was planted east of Eden, okay, and let me make the whole world know this, and they can do the research for themselves.
Yeah.
Geologists, chemists,
Mm-hmm.
that land called Israel, all the way to the Euphrates, and that's somewhere in Syria, and near present-day Iraq, and the river Tigris near Syria, and the river Gayaan, that is now known as the Blue Nile, encompassing Ethiopia, all the way to the northern border of the main Nile that goes through Egypt to the Mediterranean Sea. That's where the Garden of Eden was. And let me tell you this. The scripture said the Lord planted the garden east of Eden. East of Eden. No, that land that is known as the land of Israel, not that little piece. Let me make it clear that the so-called Israeli are killing the Palestinians, which is a transliteration for Philistines. Are killing for. That's just Jerusalem.
Okay.
That's what your and mine, Miss Lynn and Pastor Percy, former city, capital city. And that's why I use the term technical. It's also part of Africa.
Okay. All right. So we agree.
It's look here, when you remember the story with our brother Yahweh Shai, the Christ, our Savior, and Herod,
Samuel.
and Mary and Joseph, they took a donkey and come into mainland in Egypt.
Samuel.
They didn't have to cross that river that they'd cut 100 years ago now called the canal. What they call that canal again?
Suez Canal. Samuel.
The Suez Canal. Yes.
Samuel.
They didn't have to. No, we can swim. There's a bridge crossing
Samuel.
controlled by Israel.
Samuel.
So we can walk.
Samuel.
So that's what I'm saying. That's
Samuel.
our homeland. How did we get into Africa?
Samuel.
How did we get into Africa? But I want to clear up something.
All right,
Permit
Samuel.
me,
Clear up the point,
Miss
Samuel.
Minett.
Yes.
Miss Minett,
Yes.
that text that you read from,
Yes.
we need to stick to the old King James version.
Samuel.
You see that? Moreover, Miss Minett, that
Yes.
Samuel, I'm
This
going to
is
cut you
revelation.
off. Samuel, I'm going to cut you off because you are having a monologue, and we keep saying to individuals we are having a dialogue here. All right? So
okay, I'm gonna listen to what you're saying.
no, good, right? Thank you. Good.
He's listening what you're saying.
No, I'm not going to say anything because I've been trying to say it makes a point, and I'm trying to say, you see, talking the thing, and I'm filling in the gaps because I'm aware of a lot of things that he's speaking about. But he says he's going to go spiritual then practical. But the concepts, let's focus on the spiritual concept. He's maintaining that because we came in ships, that we are the real Jews. And I'm saying, no, Samuel. The history of the world and the archaeology does not speak to that. And
Okay.
yes.
Well, for me, these points of dispute that seem to be very important to you are of less importance to me.
Yeah.
I know who I am in Christ, in God, and I'm content with that. I know enough of the history of my beginnings to find my place in today's world. I know you're still there. I think we're trying to...
No, Miss Minett.
Yes.
I was trying to make a point in regards to the book that you read from. Revelation, it's the last book. It's not anything about...
Yes, and you're saying I should use the King James Version.
Judgment Day.
Okay, Samuel. All right. Okay.
And you're saying I should use the King James Version. I've used the NIV. But you see... Go ahead.
Miss Minett.
Yes.
Some versions are corrupted to divert your attention and don't give you the right meaning.
All right,
The book is the book of Revelation. It's the final act that God will perform. He said, those that lead us.
All right, Samuel. I don't want the morning's discussions to be overwhelmed by these fine points about interpretation of scripture.
Samuel,
This is not the place for it, and it's not what I want to do.
Samuel, okay, Samuel. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Do we have another caller? Oh, because it would have been...
Yeah.
All right. I'm not even going to prolong this. One of the things that I really do not want us to do is to get bogged down in fine points of interpretation of scripture.
And Paul warned against that.
He does, because it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It is dangerous. Somebody said he should go and read a book. Somebody else says he needs to read historical evidence.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, miss. Good morning. Good morning, miss.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. And good morning to everyone, Pastor, and everyone. Yeah, bless. Yeah, man. All right, just you know.
I know.
Samuel, yeah, man. Samuel is, because right now Samuel is my name, but his name is Samuel still. So my father named Samuel, so me have to put on the S on the surname.
Oh,
yeah, man. So Samuel. So, we carry a word and a message that we carry in a different ways, but, because Samuel is a servant and a messenger. So, but me, yeah, man. So, right now, still.
Most accurate prophet in the history.
Yeah, man. I always love to read about Samuel and I Bible, man. So, yeah, man. So, you call him Mother Hannah. Yeah, man, and Elkanah.
Right.
Yeah. So, definitely still. Miss. You see the judge thing. The topic they not talk about me here. Sometimes some people do something and they must say must not judge. But it's not judge, when you see somebody and look on him and judge him, after you judge. But we have different ways of judging. You have exact precise. You have righteous judgment. That's why righteousness is said, because even John 7:24 tells us you can't judge righteously. And even Deuteronomy 1:16 also. So you can't judge any about righteous. You not judge, you must judge righteousness by righteousness,
we didn't spend a lot of time talking about it, but you're right. Mm-hmm. Judgment arises in different settings. And
if I see somebody do something bad, or somebody see me do something bad right now, and you can't see that man a wicked. Can you see what me just do a while ago?
You just judge, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not when you look on somebody and say my thief, and you never know it, but you might look raga and so. And then when you judge, wrong judgment, that is not right to ever judge somebody. But if somebody doesn't do what wickedness people do, so you have no way, because some people do things and I say, boy, if you leave all judgment to God, no, really so. The Bible says you leave all judgment to God, that's the final part to the condemnation. You don't really condemn a person, but you judge a person and say that's a wicked person or that's an evil person.
Based on their actions. Based on their actions.
Yeah, man. Yeah, blessed. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that comment. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome.
Morning.
Yes. How are you?
Not bad.
I think
these Samuel, I think you're giving Samuel too much time. You hear me?
I heard you.
Samuel, out of about 10 times that man called, he only talked one thing that is important to what is going on right now in the world or Jamaica. It's always trying to give some quiz or something like that. There are more important things to talk about, Samuel. You seem to be a bright person. So come on. Say something that can help the situation that is going on today in Jamaica.
All right. Now that you have delivered your message to Samuel, what do you have for me?
What?
What do you want to tell me?
I didn't plan anything.
He didn't. That's all right. Your message has been delivered.
So what do you think in terms of what's happening in the
It's time for the break anyway, so it's just as well that you didn't have much more to say. Have a good day, my brother. Let's take our break.
We'll be right back. We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to ADPEM.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station. Moving.
My station.
Moving. Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Best FM. Keep listening.
The Aeronautical School of the West Indies presents Squawk 876, a fun and informative program where you will learn about flying, aircraft systems, weather, maintenance, and much more. Tune in to Best 100 FM this and every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Vejan Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Vejan Printers, your best choice in printing.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Connection. Caller on the line. Good morning.
Good morning, my sister.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. Morning, Pastor.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Why, I'm here, you know.
You must have been here in the program since morning.
Yeah, man. I tell you, I want to say something, but you know, I try to resist.
You're resisting the urge.
Resist the urge and the temptation. What is it you're concerned about?
Man, listen. This is a gentleman named Samuel. I think we need to. When Dr. Master was in the program, you know, if Dr. Master never had no tolerance for him for his ideas, you know.
Okay.
Because it seems so you can't use the Bible. If everything you use the Bible as his reference, his history book. You can't use the Bible. You can't use a book that is 2,000 years old or something like so.
It's actually longer than that, but anyway, but make your point. It's it's big. It's longer than that historically.
You need to resist it too.
Yeah, man. So
but
go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Some parts are older and some are not.
The same Bible we come here, you know.
It did.
Because some Africa come here. You have a book like the Bible that I think all black people should detest a book like that, you know. I don't care what nobody wants to tell me.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, because that is the same book that the man them use and capture us and enslave us. And the same book a man I use as a reference point, and then he must talk about saying he want to go back to Africa. What's wrong with him, man?
Well, no, not Africa because...
No, not going back to Africa.
I really want to go back over where we want to go. You can't... Yeah. Okay. Anyhow...
Go ahead.
When a man says, like the gospel, and say the gospel according to... What does that mean, Doctor? You can explain that to me, please?
According to Mark or according to Luke?
Right.
In the account, yeah. That's what it means. According to the account that he remembered. Because one of the things, and I tell you, you must go read it, you know, but if you don't want to go read it...
He's obviously reading it. Where do you think he got that from?
No, man, this one research, man. And we used to go to church, you know. Remember a young time, we used to go to Sunday school and all them things, you know.
So what happened?
Eh?
What happened?
No, you don't want to hear. That's
that
a
right?
dangerous question. You don't want to hear what happened.
I'll become enlightened.
He became enlightened.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says according to the accounts in regards to the person. So it's Matthew.
Yeah, but
Matthew.
I like to see what you read about Paul and all them man there. Them not look like them about like second and information them write about.
No, some of the people are there. Like Luke was on the journeys with Paul. That's why I could write it in so much detail.
Then all right. Would you suppose a man like Hitler come about now and tell you some of the things that Paul tell you about like they tell you? Would you want to believe a man like Hitler?
Believe a man like Hitler, because some of the time we think is the person and not the source. Because some of the times, and you ever heard this thing, listen to the message and not to the person who's bringing the message. Because some of the time, even though you don't like the person, what they're actually saying to you make a whole lot of sense. You know that, right?
Yeah, but you have to be very suspicious.
Right, but you still discern, because even with some of the things that you hear some people say, because of them I say it, you don't take it on at all. But some of the times there's a lot of truth in what the person is saying. Is that correct, Minett?
Yes.
Yes, I agree, you know, but what I'm saying,
you're gonna be suspicious. I'm agreeing with you. You're gonna be suspicious, so you're gonna have to discern between what they are saying. If it is what I'd call it is become polluted by the messenger himself. Yeah, man.
Yeah, but I don't think the Christians look at Paul in that light. Paul was to persecute Christians and all them things. I don't believe they look at Paul in that light, you know.
In what light?
Because it was transformed.
Because of his farmer association and what they have done in his farmer. I don't believe people look at him in that type of way.
No, but I think it gave him credibility. If a man who was that opposed to a thing is now the voice of it, then there must be some value, is what one would say, because he was known to be so opposed to it. But tell me what's in your heart. What's really your concern?
No. I'm struggling with how people view the Bible, you know.
Okay.
Well, the fundamentalists say that the Bible is the inerrant, infallible word of God. And they apply it strictly and rigidly, and every word that is in it is true in exactly how it is written. That has created great problems, and it seems to be crazy. And I have a problem with it too. I have a problem with that too, because of how the Bible is constructed. It has history, it has poetry, and it has accounts of
prophetic
actions that took place during a particular period of time. And so some of the words that are used are heavily steeped in culture, in the culture of the day, in the science of the day. When David says that the sun completes its circuit around, not around, when it completes the circuit across the sky, suggesting that the sun itself is moving. And then later on, better science shows us that the sun does not move. It is the earth that moves. There are some people who say the world is flat. I think Samuel himself said it one morning, to my shock, because of how, and I said, what's your source? And he says, the Bible. So you see how that works. But over time, Bible scholars have almost unanimously come to the realization that you can distill the prophetic words from the historical words, from the genealogy offerings that are there, from the different elements that make up the book. But the book itself and what it contains has not been discredited. It's really how man has approached it at different points in history that has created hardship for us.
Yeah, so shouldn't we just accept the Bible as a great book of historical, cultural, and so on, and just move on?
Well, it depends on your spiritual position
and your faith.
For many years, that is how I treated the Bible. I mean, I loved Greek mythology, and there are many stories from different civilizations about how people worshipped and who they believed. You had the Norse gods, you had the Roman gods, and the stories of how those gods related with mankind are as attractive and ingenious as any story you would read in the Bible. And for a time, I was of the view that maybe in years to come, the Bible would be just like another book of stories that people regard as attractive and imaginative.
If we continue to be so preoccupied with everything what the Bible says, and and other aspect of our lives, and national issues and all that type of thing, we're not paying much attention to. Because I've always said, religion, most countries that are so religious, never do well to take care of the basic needs of the people,
I don't know if I agree with you on that, but we always seek to separate religion from spirituality. Organized religion in its worst form has been a terror for mankind. In the name of God, many atrocities are committed. But civilizations that have acknowledged that there is a divine and a sacred relationship between creator and man, those civilizations that honor that relationship and seek to replicate it through the principles they apply in nation building, those civilizations do well. The story of Israel, as recounted in the Bible, shows you the times when they did it and it worked well for them. And then you have other places that didn't, and it didn't work so well. But we have another caller on the line. I hope we've helped a little bit. We might have to continue this another morning.
I keep saying there's a big but.
I'll have to call back another time.
There's a big but.
Yeah.
There's a big but. All right, thanks for calling, though.
Well, I won't admit to any big but.
But is the person of Jesus Christ. That's what I'm saying, but.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Africa love, my brother and sister.
Africa love,
Ras Kremlin, how you doing?
I'm there, hang on. But I want to ask about two questions.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. Is there a thing named righteous judgment?
Yes.
Yeah. Like me, that's Goliath get a righteous judgment from David.
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Pharaoh. Him get a righteous judgment from Jah after Moses.
After Moses,
the people,
yes.
And him go on like him don't want to let them go.
True.
Right. I mean, I say Jesus Christ, according to the story in the Bible, him get a unjust judgment. Because the judgment come through man.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Right?
Yes.
So the only judgment will me accept as righteous judgment is like what happened to Goliath and what happened to the guy named Pharaoh.
Okay.
And those two you associate with the judgment of God, which is the whole important point, that it is it is the righteousness of God that makes those judgments
not ours.
Secure, not ours, and it's why we are told not to judge. Not that we shouldn't make decisions and come to any conclusions about human conduct, but
Ras Kremlin, as we speak about righteousness, because even to the looker on, them can look and say what is right and what is wrong. Not true?
Right.
Yeah, and so therefore, that is why we keep saying the righteousness, which is what God has pointed out to us, is how you must live your life in relation to your brother. Treat him good, love him, that kind of thing. So when you step outside of that, then the righteous judgment of God can be upon you, in because of how you have related to the same brother or sister that has been created in the image and likeness of God.
But you're both.
Even the Ten Commandments is a judgment.
Yeah, because I'd say if you do this, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, correct. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And all of that is coming through righteousness.
True.
Love the neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But you're both highlighting an important component of judgment, which is the execution part. Meaning it's one thing to come to a decision, but to put it into effect is another part. And so all the discussions about judgment involve not just coming to a conclusion about the rightness or wrongness of a thing, but then executing whatever it is you have determined. All of us will come to a conclusion about other people's conduct. But we should forbear from treating them in the way that we have determined, because we don't have the righteousness to carry that out.
All right, even the crucifixion of the story, when him named Pilate, him watch Freeman.
That's him not want to be a part of that.
Not be a part of that because him not find this man guilty of fucking no law Rome.
Yeah.
But him still get judgment.
True.
Yes, because he made the decision and he didn't prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, him use a psychology because him is there to crucify the man, but him use the people.
So that is what them want.
When name Pilate.
Pilate, yeah.
You want Barabbas or Barnabas or
Barabbas.
Or whatever. When him could have said, no, you can't crucify this man according to the law of Rome because this man don't break the law of Rome.
True.
Take the man off of the cross. Him did have the authority to do that.
But him pass it on, as a lot of us are prone to do.
All right, my brother. So you see, one must understand that there is righteous judgment coming through the Almighty. And any judgment come through man, it illegal, it not right.
It not right.
Because man now no power to judge high. Our judge, Miss Lawrence or Bongo Percy. Leave all judgment to I. Him said that.
That's why it says, vengeance is mine, I'll repay. So even the thing which a lot of people grapple with, and I want to introduce the whole thing of forgiveness. A lot of people, to my own mind, are bound because they can't forgive the person for the offense. And even when, so it's important, the whole thing of forgiveness and judgment, they go hand in hand.
But forgiveness becomes an easier thing to accomplish when you withhold judgment.
Right. And even these two parties, with them so mighty, right? And I deal with some things against the people. Uncle, when they come to election, them come eat out of the people, them pot. So, from a call and get the program, you know, it's like, it's Dr. Bird around me, not leave it, you know.
That's good.
The bird don't leave it, and I see the bird, I say, Jah Rastafari. And the bird don't leave me up to now.
Good.
See the bird there? Right now, I look on the bird.
All right.
Well, give him a greeting for us.
All right.
Right. So my brother just hold it because we not hold up the program. But no wait too long, you know. We just click over nail on the head.
Okay, then.
Right?
All right, brother. Thank you.
And one more thing, as I say, I don't like when callers discredit the other caller. I don't like it.
Okay. We try to tell them not to. It speaks.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, my brother. Give thanks. I have all of the best of the day with FM.
All right, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Hello, good morning and welcome to Portmore.
Aye, the new parish.
The new parish. I've never asked, never went think about that still, you know.
Morning to your listeners and your valuable callers. Pastor.
Yes, never.
Portmore not ready yet.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But it is all about money.
Yes.
And politics.
Yes, sir.
Because what happened now is that the Portmore Municipal Council is standing in the way of the St. Catherine Parish Council. In that the votes that they get from Portmore here, the PNP, put them in control of the St. Catherine Parish Council.
Okay.
And the JLP wants that council because there's a lot of money in that council. So they want to control the St. Catherine Parish Council to manipulate it to their political advantage and cut off Portmore as a parish by itself so that they have their own municipality. You follow the math?
Yes, it's all about the money.
All
follow
about
the money.
Bad mind and money.
But I want to know, in that configuration, Neville, does Portmore stand to prosper or lose from being on their own? When they are taken out of St. Catherine, do they lose?
Yeah, well, let me tell the people of Portmore and Jamaica something. Portmore, from being a parish, Portmore will have to raise its own revenue. So they're going to raise your property tax. They're going to double your property tax.
Wow.
And that's where they're going to get money from. And when a Portmore man gets sick, and the hospital in a Portmore, and he have to run go over St. Catherine, you're going to hear the St. Catherine people say, oh, you have people from other parish are coming in front of me over my parish.
Wow.
So what they're doing now is that They are segregating the people, increasing the bad mind, and mashing up the people's meditation. And most of the people can't even fathom that.
But are social services and the like structured in that way currently? Where
social service?
What
I know
social service?
There's a gully that is on Passage Fort Drive near where I live. About 8 months now, it don't clean out there, stink. All tree are growing at the gully. If you plant a mango tree in the gully, it grow within 4 years. Sorrel in the gully are grow. Portmore needs shoving. Shoving. Wakaman.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Yeah.
Portmore have a whole heap of wakaman. And you see the wakaman, them a drive round and walk round and look work every day, and the parish council wouldn't even employ them to give Portmore a sanitization. The trees them in Portmore, they want to prune.
But right now, those activities, it's not that a parish gets to spend the money that is generated from property taxes and so on there. It all goes into the consolidated fund right now.
Then that's a part of the thieving thing we are going in the country, man. And the people, I don't want to disrespect any people out there, but me I'll tell you this, Pastor and Lynette, and the listeners, Miss Minett.
Mm-hmm.
Portmore have the most illegal and informal business in Jamaica. And country parish can't run, sir.
No.
Look here, I give 4 hours worth of community service between Portmore, Kingston and St. Andrew every week. 4 hours work, free work. And you can believe me, say, every client that I go to in my free work venture, my voluntary work, you know them know me before me know them? Because they listen to my voice on the radio and they're glad to meet me, and I want to thank SFM for this opportunity. And you know, some of them even willing to pay me for my service when they get my service, even though I'm doing it voluntarily.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me...
Portmore not ready yet.
But it sounds to me, Neville, that this kind of aspirational challenge of being a parish could be something that leads to greater organization on the ground.
Really?
I mean, of businesses getting themselves registered and in order, of greater tax compliance.
Re-education.
Don't need a re-education.
5 in 4.
But that would be a part of it.
But you know, to say what my sister is saying, 5 in 4 was aspirational. Remember? You remember that, Neville?
How have you become so cynical?
How
the pastor gets so cynical?
Gregor Park?
Yes.
Gregor Park is one of the oldest places in Portmore, right?
Yes, that's true.
And Gregor Park is the murder capital of Portmore. You'd have to gentrify Gregor Park before Portmore can become a parish. And I hear that they're planning to put Riverton City as part of Portmore. Them junk? No, more ask Andrew Wallace and him bag of men and women if them junk.
That's true, Neville. I didn't hear that. That is, they have proposed the boundary lines.
City as part of Portmore to widen their political belt.
Are you serious?
You know, all of these politicians should baptize before they go into parliament.
They should repent.
And they should do a lie detector test as well. You know?
No,
okay, well, I do know that the business of setting the boundaries for the parish, that is yet to be finalized.
No, but that is
I hope it is a public matter and it's not just something that is handed down.
Especially those who own the house over here, must rebel about Portmore becoming a parish at this time and deal with infrastructure development.
Yeah, because there was a dispute publicly between E.G. Hunter and the Portmore about some
infrastructure for
now for cleaning for some roadway. That was in the paper last week. You remember that?
Yeah, yes, man. Well, let me tell you something now. I'm never done because I don't want to talk too much again.
Yes.
It's 3 money giving them trouble in the world and in Jamaica. 3 set of money. The pension money. Right now, the government borrow up the whole of the pension money from all of the pension scheme them in Jamaica. And him use it in a political endeavor, and them don't have no money to pay the old people them back for them pension. So them dying for some of them dead out. That'll give them trouble. The interest rate to them pile on from them compound interest in them bank and them credit union, they don't have no money to pay that. And the inflation are mad them.
Yeah.
So what, let me tell you this before I leave, very critical. The judges in the circuit court, those judges that judging people, and the governor generals and the prime ministers, they retire with their pension as their pay. And what the judge is telling them now, the retired judges, their pension is not indexed to inflation.
Okay.
It's when they reach 10 years in their retirement, the medical, because they use their brain so much, enough of them suffering from brain disease and they don't have enough pension to satisfy their medical. And a lot of them have pets like puss and dog. And they can't mind the dog and the puss when they are in pension.
Okay.
And they put in pressure on the government now to increase their pension.
Or index it.
And the government having problem to find the money from Nigel Point to Moran Point. So they might use all strategy to take the poor people money. They can't go give the judge them for them pension and the governor general them when they retire, when they get old, and see them wife are going at dementia and all sort of schizophrenia. And when the doctor tell them say, a 2 million for the surgery and the surgery, and they might put pressure upon the government to give them more pension, and the government are coming in a place like Portmore, to turn it in a Paris, to get Paris Council, to rake out money to can't go give them on them pension so that them can live life till them dead, and the poor get poorer. And we expect Jesus to come solve that. We really expect Jesus to come solve that, Pastor?
No, he never said that. He gave us the power to do what we need to do. Yeah, man.
You know the last thing Jesus said on the cross before him dead? Hello?
Go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He said, Father, forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing. You know, we set up people don't know what they're doing. It's either you're mad or you don't know exactly what you're doing, or you're unconscious of what you're doing. And Jamaica is being run by some mad people who don't care about people. Because they're not a Christian, you know?
Okay.
These people are not child of God.
Okay.
All right, Neville, thank you.
Right,
thank you, Neville.
All right, thanks.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think the present government, Portmore is a PNP stronghold from ever since.
Will it change in the last election?
Well, they want to take the whole of Portmore.
Okay.
That's the plan. They want to take the whole, everything. JLP, the present government now, they want to win every parish council. That's their plan. That's what I see. But anyway.
But let me ask you a question. If that plan was on track, why is it that they have postponed the parish council elections a year?
I think because they don't think they can win everything, so they're gonna group up together and spend some money and do some promotion.
Okay. All right. Good. All right.
To win.
Good.
And that's why you see the Prime Minister, you know, he's advertising some things that like the some other minister supposed to do.
Okay.
He's popularizing himself. He's on TV, he's on radio.
That's true. He's everywhere.
He's everywhere. He's everywhere.
All right.
All right. You know, what was before Percy distracted you with that question? What were you going to say?
Oh, do you believe in ghosts?
In ghosts?
Yes.
Meaning spirits?
Spirit, yeah.
I believe in spirits. Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Have you ever seen one?
Yes.
Oh well, there are people that don't believe that ghosts exist.
And more maybe not seen, I should say, experience.
Well, I have seen ghosts. I saw my grandmother after she died. She came in the room and I was showing my father and he couldn't see her. And I smell her, the same scent that she had before she died, and she was across the room like jumping up. And my father cursed some words and she just
disappeared
on her head and disappeared. And I was not dreaming. It was real.
No, you're not dreaming. You know you're not
I was not dreaming when I saw her.
So what led you to share that with us this morning? What conversation we're having that brought that memory?
In the spiritual, supernatural.
No, I just want to ask you guys if you believe in ghosts.
Okay.
No, my other thing now is the flood.
Mm-hmm.
No.
The flood. Do you
asked us that question already?
Believe in the flood?
Yes, I believe that the world was destroyed in a cataclysmic water event.
The entire world covered by water?
Yeah. And interestingly, if you
well, I don't know if it's the entire world. I do know that there was a massive event.
Yeah.
Most of because they've done research in.
If you look at the fossil record, an important thing that people use is a fossil record.
Yeah, they've seen it in America, they've seen it in Europe.
Right. And how things should have been
Africa?
All over the place. How it should have been laid down, if as people say how it is, you go to different places where the things are supposed to be, it's not there. And it would point to the fact that in the fossil record, something of that nature happened.
A single event.
Yeah, a single event happened.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're all guessing. Nobody's sure exactly what
fossil. But if you, all right. So we believe in carbon dating. You know what carbon dating is?
No, I don't.
Oh, carbon dating is how they can look at something and use a
chemical method.
To determine in terms of the half-life of chemicals. That's simply putting it. So if you say carbon decays over time, they use that to say how far the carbon is present as decayed in terms of aging stuff. So it's the same thing in terms of the fossil record. When you look at it, based on what you find in it, it should have been laid down in a certain order. What they're discovering in different places, the way, the expectation of how it should be, that's not it is. And it points to the fact that, what's the word you use? Something
cataclysmic
happen.
A single event.
Yeah, that changed it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But why are you asking?
Well, why I asked about the flood?
Yes.
I don't believe the world could be covered by water if it's around and in space.
Well, it's a question of the science. Maybe your understanding of
somebody would roll
gravity.
Out some of the gravity field.
How the atmosphere is held together.
In place, yeah.
Yeah. One last thing. Noah made that ark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
How did they get into it?
God saved 8 people.
8 people and a lot of animals.
Mm.
God knows the future, the past, the present, everything.
Everything.
So didn't God know that those 8 people going to come and mess up the world again? Why didn't he just destroy everything and start anew?
That is a question. But some people ask, then why is it that God has given us free will? And we close on that point.
Well, we're taking our break now. We've gone past the break, my brother, 9:32. If you can stay with us, please do. If not,
No, I'll call back.
Yes, thank you very much. Okay.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Looking to clean your vehicle super clean? 123 Clean Car Wash, located at 2 1/4 Osborne Road, Kingston 10. Entrance on Grove Road, below Tropical Battery. They wash and vacuum, undercarriage wash, engine wash, polish and compound, shampoo and detailing. Call them at 876-631-3400. 123 Clean Car Wash, the best in the business for a cleaner wash.
1, 2, 3, believe me, it's so easy. 1, 2, 3.
The station that makes you feel good.
I love the station. I think it's great.
My station.
Moving.
My station.
Moving. Keep it right here. Keep it right here.
Best FM. Keep listening.
Half a tree. 1 already, 200. Ready, mama? Ready. Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Ask Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place. It's good. It's
better, but nothing beats.
Welcome back. We have 2 callers on hold. May we take the first one, please? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, best family.
Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
Good, Good. Listening, working, listening, Bless up. Let me see now.
You have a list?
When the Virgin asks about why God never does destroy everybody, when you read through the Bible properly, even a Revelation when it shows the chosen, the elected, the saved as a Lord, when you go punish them people for the wickedness them do. And him say, let's give it a little more time. We have some more people who come through the trials and the tribulation and gain the victory. And when that's up, we give them the final judgment,
Mm-hmm.
So you say, most of God know what I'm doing. I think the Bible's a perfect book. As I listen to the first, speak highly of it.
Always merciful.
But it's just to really read the understanding. Because you say again, remember when Yahshua trod through the earth, and the devil tempt him and bring upon him, the devil use scripture verses, make Yahshua do things where nothing do.
And him say no.
All right, he might give the better interpretation now, he might give other interpretation and make him know. And that it did mean. They say you have people out there who work with the deceitful spirit, where give people wrong interpretation in the Bible to make the Bible look away. Because the Bible demands us to do what we need to do, You understand me? So every time God send him prophets and him saints them all is that teach us how we're supposed to live. That means that we're supposed to live in and doing these things,
True.
So when we turn and make these political leaders all over the world reach for them there and feel so powerful and mighty, we are run behind money instead of righteousness and justice. Because with righteousness and justice, everything fall in place,
True.
But you run the money without righteousness and justice, everything will go crumble. Everything when we work over the years in a twinkling of an eye, it will crumble, as His Majesty say, And as the scripture say, it will crumble. So, no, whole thing for talk about still more time, more time, I'm tell you. We just need to work, We need to come together. Because again, if when we come together, them are going to fight against us. And them gonna kill us. Them take up responsibility and now fulfill them responsibility and not kill us. And when we come together, them are gonna fight against us. You see, we can approach the problem peacefully as much as possible, But there are times come we have to take up arms and fight, If we have to do that,
If that is what is necessary,
And it's the last of the first, we try out every peaceful means necessary for justice. But after that, a war, because God is a man of peace and patience, but him have a time when wrath.
Okay.
Bless up. There are little love on Miss Minett.
Yes, sir.
Minett. Love you, You have a clean spirit there, so, man. Love you. Bless up. Bless up your husband, I have a good wife.
All right, sir. I'll be sure to tell him. All right, man. Wayne. Have a good day. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
Righteousness.
Righteousness said, yeah. Sometimes, we have to understand each other and come to one understanding and everything, because when we see it, come here, them saying, the word righteousness out of the Bible. You see it. And so some of the people write over the Bible, after them, I would say, but I would say,
King James?
The original Bible is better than the King James Version, because right now, they have change up the word in the Bible and confuse the people, because some of them, see it. It's not a right, it's a corrupt way that. Because they write to suit themselves. But God's word must not change up every minute to suit your way. It's like you make a law to suit yourself. So when you do nothing, wrong. And then you tell people to just leave it to God. Something in the right, the world can't run so everything you do anything wrong and you just leave it to God till when come. We have to wait till God come when judgment come before. So you can't do that and go and No, like that. You have righteousness. You see, self-righteousness is different. You see, righteousness of God. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 21. You understand? Tell you. Righteousness in Christ. See, we are ambassadors of Christ, so we are having to say the word. But it's still our righteousness, because some people are talking about self-righteousness, they don't know what it means. There's a lot of misunderstanding in the Bible right now, even amongst spiritual, amongst Christians, you know.
True.
Because God said one righteousness, you know. You understand? Because our righteousness, the Bible tells about our righteousness. You know, the Bible, it's right now, says the Lord reward me, you know, according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands. Not the next man's righteousness. So if somebody else say, if me say my righteousness, you can't say self-righteous. It all depends on you, how you do the work. If you do evil and say your righteousness, that's wrong. If you're in a Sodom and say your righteousness, that is wrong. But you have people have one call him out to you can't your righteousness. Your children, your righteousness can't save your children. If your righteousness cannot save the Bible says no, and Daniel righteousness and Job can't see the righteousness cannot save them children. So you have to have your righteousness.
But
and come back again and tell you again too.
Well, self-righteousness.
Righteousness.
Self-righteousness.
It's about your right. As long as you follow the commandment of God, that is your righteousness.
Self-righteousness really though refers to you setting your own standards of what's right and wrong, not creating standards or observing standards that are derived from the righteousness of God. So, you can be right according to your own rules.
It's your righteousness.
Yeah, that's
because if you follow the righteousness of God, Deuteronomy 6 verse 25 says, and it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord, our God, as He had commanded us. It's our righteousness. Yes. So if you follow the commandment of God, if your righteousness come out, judge your country righteousness, because Psalm 9 verse 8 says, the Lord shall judge the world according to righteousness because out of the world by now. So your righteousness depends on what you call your righteousness. If you follow the commandment of God, it's your righteousness. But if you not follow the commandment of God and you keep the other righteousness, it's not, that is your self-righteous.
All right, righteousness. Thanks for that.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, brother.
Thanks. Yeah. Bless.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yes, morning. I was really surprised when Africa Love he said that man cannot judge because man is not capable because he's not worthy. But does that mean we should abolish the court system and and judges?
No, he's not saying that. What I'm hearing him saying, and I can't interpret, a lot of the court system is based upon, comes out of what is in the word of God in terms of how you can kill, don't covet, that. So it comes out of that. So
delegated
authority. Well, if you say that, Jamaica has chosen not to follow God's law, which says murderers must be destroyed.
Okay. But
so Jamaica wants more murders and deserves more murders.
But
deserves.
All right. So okay.
Yes, because when you go against God, you go against yourself.
True.
Yes.
So you are very much.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. So we have another caller. So what I hear is saying your position simply is that if people commit themselves and they go through the justice system and they have proven to be against the law, then what must happen is that they must follow the course. So you believe in the death penalty. That's correct.
That's what I just said. They must be destroyed.
Okay, all right.
Annihilated from the earth.
All right then. Okay, my brother. Thank you.
Simple as that. That's called judgment.
All right then.
Decision.
Okay, thanks. Good.
Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning. Have I reached out religious cross or whatever?
Jigsaw, behave yourself, sir. Behave yourself. Please.
You just a little bit of laughing at this, you know. It can get too serious.
But you know, Jigsaw, let me tell you, you see the issues of justice and righteousness are in a lot of people's heart. That is why you see people commenting and say, well, you want justice. Because they recognize...
but it's not... Sorry, go ahead.
They recognize that something, that an action by something is wrong, something wrong about it, and they are believing that there must be consequences to people's actions. That's what I hear people saying. Some people are split on whether, like my friend who believes in the death penalty, some people believe in that people can be forgiven and so on. So go ahead and speak. I'm just trying to summarize what I've been hearing people saying.
So I don't want to get crossed up.
You're running away from it.
Yeah. Anyhow, callers, I make an appeal to those people who want to dominate the program and turn it into a quiz on the presenters. Can we desist?
Yeah, that's what we're asking them.
It's a dialogue.
Yeah.
You talk and you listen and you respond to what the presenter is asking.
Yeah.
And a lot of us are not listening and we just ignore, the other voice.
Yeah.
Please, we want to enjoy the program. And we want to learn. And if we're not responding to the question of the presenter, we're not getting to appreciation of what is being communicated.
True.
So what is the dialogue you want to have with us this morning?
No, I don't.
Oh, yes.
what was the thing? No, I'm making a request.
Okay, I got it.
One other thing, too.
Yes.
A lot of callers get into trouble because of the credit.
Yeah.
They need to buy the whatever plan, whatever network. And I know one that you can buy a 5-day plan and you're not in a rush.
Yeah.
Watching your credit.
All right, thank you for that reminder.
Thank you.
There's one thing.
And we'll do a lot better.
Yes.
But there's one little talk because the minute can finish.
All right, sir. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
It's a lovely day. Let's embrace it.
That is true.
That is so true.
All right. There's something that was raised by one of our listeners online that I just want to refer to before we take our leave. Someone asked when we were going to speak about this move by the government, announced with such flair by the Prime Minister and Minister Chang all getting behind it, this move to cleanse the country of dirty money and a deliberate, I would say, attack on the construction industry. Today in the paper, you have the Financial Investigation Division vowing to cleanse country of dirty money. And they identify the ways in which the construction industry facilitates the laundering of money, where the development is 100% self-financed and payments for labor and construction materials are made using mainly cash. Developer does not have a legitimate source of funds for the portion of the project that is self-financed. The expected cost of the completed project is significantly greater than the documented cost. And the developer sells units to persons for cash without a concern of the source of income. I would certainly like to see them move on this because, as we speak now, many highly placed politicians and other persons are in that industry doing things that seem quite remarkable. And I'm almost wondering.
Where they get the money from?
No, that we have all kinds of theories about where they get the money from, but I'm surprised that the government would announce this thrust when so many of their own are in positions of great vulnerability. This is interesting to me. So we're going to wait to see what happens. There are some construction plans that are the subject of court proceedings and so on. Construction projects that are the subject of court proceedings, even as we speak. And as far as I know, at least one was self-financed by a politician. And I'm curious to see whether they are going to turn the spotlight on it.
You mean, as you focus on that, remember I came and I was relating to the fact that I saw we buy land for cash, houses for cash, and you were saying to me, yeah man, you can pay cash, it's just that you don't go through the normal thing. I wonder if there's a relationship, because as you're saying, a lot of projects are happening and they are self-financed. They don't say, like you say, some may say Jamaica Mortgage Bank or say JMB doing it. So the question is, where did they get the money from? What are
But you see, when the FID, when the government does this, they cannot avoid bringing into play the financial institutions, because more often than not, some of the developments are partially financed. Undoubtedly, some of them involve, they all involve persons who maintain bank accounts. And if you come to the conclusion that the money is from an illegal source, then everybody who participates in that chain would be up for scrutiny. It can't be just the developer.
It would be the lawyers, the bank.
The lawyers, the banks, the people who sell material to them and collect the cash and so on. All of them would be involved. So this, if they were to succeed with this, they would cover a lot of other things. And it would have implications for many of their own. So it's one of those things where maybe they have a particular person in their scope and they're giving it a broadcast. But one thing I know, many things are meant for evil, and then they turn out to work for a very good purpose, which is one of the things that we have to remember about that prophetic book, which we spoke about this morning. There are many times in Bible history that you see a strategy is deployed to destroy someone else, and it turns out to work for the betterment of that person plus many others. Thank you all for participating in the show this morning. Go ahead, Pastor.
And as we close, be not deceived.
Yes, God is not mocked.
God is not mocked. And for the persons, what I've picked up is a lot of people have questions about the Bible, how we come to it and so on. And it's serious questions, because I've heard those questions before. But I just say to people that using the morning connection to try to answer it, it is so...
It's you, Pastor.
It's me detail. Yes.
It was just me alone. They wouldn't think that. But Pastor is like catnip.
No, but that's all right. That's all right. Because if people think, probably we need to do another program where we just answer all of those questions, questions, and then work through the evidence that is there and saying, okay, this is one interpreted, this another. How do you come to where you're at? Because everything to my own mind is logical. That's why God gave us a brain. There's somebody on call who says to me, I like him. I like him. I like Conrad, and I like Tumblebug. Tumblebug Perry. Yeah, man.
Oh.
Been there, done that.
Let me say my thank yous. Thank you to the callers, the listeners, all of you who have participated in this morning's show. I know we have music lined up for you, so we'll just... What are we playing?
According to the producer.
Oh, I see. Oh, there won't be peace until God is at the conference table.
Call you, man.
And then Heal the World. Those are the two songs. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you, producer and engineer. Have a blessed day.